Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. Once again, I'm joined by Manchester City football expert Mike Long, all the way from sunny Korea. Is it sunny where you are, Mike?
No, it's really, really humid, disgustingly hot.
All right, well, that's not what I was expecting. guys, none of this flim flam, none of this chit chat. We're here to talk serious business now. Serious Manchester City transfer gossip, rumours, innuendo about Houssem Aouar. Now, Houssem Aouar, you've seen him. You've seen him play against City. You should have seen him 3 times now. Playing for Lyon against City in this year's Champions League. He had a pretty decent game. And twice before, back in, was it 2 years ago, in the group stages of the Champions League, where Lyon managed to beat City in one game at our place and drew 2-2 at their place. And I think they should have won that game. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give you a little brief intro about Houssem Aouar, and then I'll get cracking and test Mike's knowledge, and let's see if he likes him and how much he likes him, because I think he does. Houssem Aouar is only 22 years old. Okay, just turned 22 back in end of June. He's about 5'9" tall. That's 1.75 m. He plays in midfield for Lyon. He's a very exciting midfielder. He joined Lyon at the age of 11, so he's been there basically 11 years, half his life. He's played for either the youth team or the senior team at Lyon. So you might think he's got a little bit of a draw towards them. He's got, I think he's dual national, quite a lot for the under-21s. He's played apparently 16 times for the under-21s. And at Lyon, he's played in the B team, played 22 games for them, scoring 4 goals. And according to Wikipedia, he's played 97 times, I think, in the league for Lyon, scoring 16 goals, which is about 1 in every 6. He's got a contract till 2023. So, you're not going to get him out on the cheap. And he's just seems to be getting better and better and better. He started plays versatile attacking midfielder who can play anywhere in the midfield. And I think we've seen his excellent technical ability, his calmness on the ball. He got fouled quite a bit against City by people like Fernandinho and Gundogan because they had no choice. He was a bit too quick for them. And they did what they felt was the right thing at that time. So, Mike, Houssem Aouar, what do you think about him? Do we need someone like Houssem Aouar to replace David Silva, or just a versatile player all around our midfield?
Well, I think the best way to describe Houssem Aouar is a much younger, much sharper, more penetrative version than Gundogan. He's not any substitute for David Silva, guys. But last year, reports were out that Pep fell in love with him. Don't read those too much, guys, because you can see Pep fell in love with all kinds of people. But this particular guy, he's Algerian, so he's a good friend of Mahrez. His heroes are Juninho Pernambuco, not the Middlesbrough Juninho, but
the Lyon,
the Lyon one, and Zidane, of course, as well. And I think the best way that I could introduce him to you guys is just to watch the game that we played against them. He was very, very sharp, very penetrative. He is not any kind of number 6, so you're not gonna. We can't argue that he is good. He would be a replacement for number 6 like Gundogan.
Yeah.
He's totally on the front foot. He is very technical, and I know, guys, when you're listening to podcasts and things like that, you're hearing this all the time. He's very technical. What does that mean? When they tell you that he's very technical, what it means is that he can hit a pass right, short and long, and this guy is like that. But he has a goal threat as well, which Gundogan does not have. And yeah, guys, I think this would be a great signing. But Here's the but. A lot of people are, if you go on Twitter, a lot of people are pushing back against the possible signing of Aouar because they think that that would reduce playing time for Phil Foden. I don't think it really would. I think Foden is more versatile than Aouar. I think Aouar is definitely a central attacking midfielder, but I think with Foden, he can go all around the place. He can play on the left, he can play in the right, in the centre. So I don't necessarily think, guys, that you need to object to Aouar just because of the Foden factor. But I think he'd be great for us. He really, really would. And you saw him against us. He is a threat. He is a weapon. What do you think, Ray?
Absolutely, mate. I don't think Foden needs to worry. He's still only 20. City play 60 games a season. Excuse me. And I wouldn't honestly expect Foden to be playing 40. And if you think we're going to have a few spots where, KDB's not going to play 40. Let's say KDB plays 40 games. I look at the attacking midfielder and say you've got two positions and 60 games. You've got about 120 games between whoever plays attacking midfielder. KDB might play 40 games, 45 games as an attacking midfielder for City. He won't play the Carabao Cup. He might not play the early rounds of the FA Cup, and he'll miss some of the Champions League group stages. The important games KDB will play. He might be up to 40, 45. Then that leaves you with about 75 to 80 games. Foden, Houssem Aouar, split between three players. And that gives them an average of about 25 to 30 games each. Now, whoever's playing best, you might have to throw Bernardo in there as well, but whoever's playing best will get more game time. I think that's as simple as that. If someone's playing on the same level as KDB, then they'll be playing as the attacking midfielder for most of next season. So I think Foden, you shouldn't worry, like you say. If Foden, the bottom line for me is, if Foden's good enough, he'll play. Simple as that. And if Foden isn't good enough, then he won't play. Simple as that. If Aouar and Foden would push each other to new heights, to new levels, and the best one will play. But they'll both get plenty of game time.
It's quite funny, guys, because there was an intriguing little tweet from Sam Lee of The Athletic yesterday. And he said, he was at pains to labour this point because I think Sam has had a few high-profile things that he's called that didn't happen. So he's trying to be very, very careful now. And you'll appreciate that if you listen to him on a lot of pods. It's hard to get anything out of him sometimes. But he said, I don't want to stir up anything. I don't want anyone to follow this up. But isn't it interesting? This is Sam Lee talking. Isn't it interesting that after the game where we lost against Lyon, isn't it interesting that both Kevin De Bruyne and also Pep himself mentioned Aouar? And that's how you pronounce it, guys. You've basically, it's like, like the whole hour thing on your clock. You've just got to stretch that out and go Aouar. That's how you pronounce it.
Arabic is a one tough language. I've been
right.
I did a video last week in Arabic, asking questions of a guy from Algeria, and I'm doing another one tomorrow with I think 3 or 4 Algerians, and I'm posing my questions in Arabic, and it's blooming hard work. So Aouar,
yeah. Aouar, yep.
In terms of money, we're looking at, I believe, around 50 million euros. Talking to Lyon fans, French Lyon fans from Lyon, we're looking around 50 million euros, and the expectation is, I think the owners said so, that Aouar will probably leave this summer. Now, two clubs that seem to be at the forefront in chasing for him are Juventus.
Arsenal, Liverpool.
No, forget them. Absolutely.
I just did a Google, Ray. Apparently, Arsenal and Liverpool are all over him.
Arsenal haven't got the money, okay, as far as I'm concerned.
Neither have Liverpool.
Well, Liverpool keep saying they ain't got the brass. They can't pay 30 million euros for Thiago. How are they going to pay 50 million for Houssem Aouar? So Arsenal, look at the business Arsenal have done so far this summer. they've given a contract extension to David Luiz. They offered a 4-year contract to Dani Ceballos. They offered him that when he was. I don't think he'd even played for the club.
Right. Apparently, Arsenal have offered Guendouzi and cash for him.
Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right. It's funny, guys. You've actually got videos now up of Aouar against Manchester City and how he broke our hearts.
Yeah.
But
well, the thing is, so I don't believe for 1 minute he's going to go to Arsenal. I might be wrong. I don't believe for 1 minute. Now, I believe that it's Juventus and City. And this is speaking last season to people in France. And that they thought it's either Juventus or City. Now, if Pep was to make the call, and I think he has apparently has spoken to him. If Pep, that was my feeling. If Pep makes the call and says, "I want you," the fellow's going to go to. There's a very good likelihood he'll come to City. And I heard I think it was last week, 7 or 10 days ago, that the Houssem Aouar situation will be resolved as soon as Lyon are out of the Champions League. Now, actually, most people thought they'd be out already, but they might go on and win the whole thing, and good luck to them. But the Aouar situation will be sorted out once that's done. We'll see a lot more action now. I believe. I did this on my stream tonight. We'll see a lot more action. Leipzig are out. What's going to happen to Angelino? What's going to happen to our man Upamecano? And it's the same thing with Bayern Munich. What's going to happen? You can't tell. Whose side the players are going to leave, because how's that going to affect them? Will their heads be a little bit messed up when you've got such a massive game ahead of you? So in terms of money, we're looking at about 50 million euros. I'm just trying to think, if we are fortunate enough to get him, where do you see him playing? Do you see him partnering KDB most of the time? Do you see Pep maybe trying to utilise him somewhere else, utilise his skills, maybe slightly behind? Maybe instead of Gundogan partnering Rodri, maybe it's Houssem Aouar?
I think he would probably be a good replacement for David Silva. He's got the same skills.
Yeah.
Guys, don't put too much trust in all of this internet guff where they're talking about Kevin De Bruyne bigging him up. I've actually got the transcript of the interview with Kevin De Bruyne, and he was asked a lot of questions, and he didn't really mention him. At the very end, they asked him, "Is there one player who impressed you today?" And Kevin said, "Aouar had a good game." That's it. I think everyone could see that.
But the thing is, Maxwell Cornet, he had a good game. And Kevin didn't mention his name because Maxwell Cornet scored the first goal. He made some really good last ditch clearances or tackles or whatever. There was that one that hit his studs. That was KDB's pass was going to.
No, I think he would be a good player for us, but that's another pod. I think
that's another day. So Houssem Aouar, if we were going to mark this out of 10, what would you reckon? Marks out of 10 for the possibility of him coming to City. 10 out of 10 is 100% that he's coming to City. What would Mike Long give?
I'm gonna give it 7 based on the fact that I know, and we all know, that Pep contacted him last year.
Shh. Keep it quiet. We're not allowed to do that. That's called tapping up, Mike. We're not allowed to do that. Pep may have contacted him. He had. We don't know for sure that Pep contacted him. Shh. Keep it quiet. Keep it under your hat, guys. Okay. I think that's it for this transfer special on Houssem Aouar. I hope you've learned a little bit more about the player. And got to say, Mike, once again, a big thank you. And I'm sure we'll see you very, very soon, mate.
Thank you, Ray. And up the Blues, guys.